Welcome to She's Got This, the podcast for ambitious women who want to grow and scale their business and use the power of intentional energy direction to design their very best life. I'm your host, Christine Gallagher, award-winning business coach and mindset mentor to female entrepreneurs. If you're ready to own your brilliance while making bank, step into the absolute best version of you, and become a force for positive change in the world, you're in the right place. Let's do it. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. You're listening to She's Got This. I'm your host, Christine Gallagher, and I'm super happy you joined me today. So welcome. Today's episode is going to be pretty fun because we're talking about something a little bit different. We're talking about how I use journaling to create more clients and sales. So I have a few exercises I want to share with you, and some of them are going to be really kind of practical, getting down to brass tacks, and a couple of them are going to be a little bit more on the spiritual side. So I'm looking forward to jumping in. I've actually been journaling for most of my life. I remember starting my very first diary back in probably second grade. I was probably about 8 years old. And it was a Sanrio plastic diary that was from Hello Kitty, if you remember Hello Kitty. I loved Hello Kitty. I loved the store that they had in the mall. And it was this cute little pink diary with the plastic cover. And then I remember having moved on to the diaries that had the little lock on the side with the combination. And then once I was in, let's say, junior high, I was using notebooks, just like one subject or 3 subject notebooks. And I journaled a lot all the way up until I was about 18 and I left for college. And for whatever reason, I didn't journal a bunch after that. But once I started to work in my own business, I started picking up my journal again. And I really looked at how can I use this practice that I used to love to help me in what I'm doing and what I'm creating in my business. So these days I journal all the time, and I've got lots of different journals that I have filled up and put on my bookshelf. And I love getting the journals that are really pretty on Amazon, actually, just a tip for you. There are by Peter Popper Press, and they're gorgeous. They have beautiful pages, lots of pages. They've got sort of that gold stuff on the side. They've got the ribbon that's pretty that you can hold your space, and I just really, really love them. So much of the time, it's really just me free writing, getting clear on things in my head, getting a brain dump happening, and just sort of writing whatever I feel. But today I wanted to share some exercises that are a little bit more intentional and more structured, if you will. The first one is what I consider the market clarity exercise. So this is truly about bringing things back to basics. Anytime you want clarity on your market, for example, or your messaging, and I always recommend to my clients that they do this periodically because this kind of thing really does evolve over time. Your who, your soulmate client, how you want to message your purpose of what your business is and your services are to them. And so it's good to do a review of this. So it's pretty simple. It's just some questions that you want to jot down and answer, and just really dig into who is your person and what do they need from you and how are you helping them. And it's sort of marketing 101, but again, it's something that I always revisit in my business, even though I've been doing this a long time, because things do change. And you also do it and get different insights every time you do it. So the questions are, number one, the most basic here, who is your ideal client? What I call your soulmate client. Number two, what is the problem that they experience? Number three, what is the solution they want instead? Number four, what do they need to learn, know, or do to realize that transformation? And five, what is their ultimate outcome and why is it so important to them? So just to give you an example, let's say your soulmate client is a female service-based entrepreneur who has been in business at least a few years and is really interested in scaling. So the next question about the problem they experience would be they're trying to scale their services and their offers, but they're stuck And what they want instead of that is the solution to be able to scale and add more leverage to their business. So, for example, that might be moving from offering just one-on-one services to offering more leveraged things like group programs. The next piece is about what they need to learn, know, or do to realize the transformation that they want. So in our example, it might be they've already been working with one-on-one clients for a while and they're already getting them great results. And then the ultimate outcome in the example would be scaling their business and, of course, growing their income, usually in the service-based coach consultant space. That typically means beyond six figures or even multiple six figures. So that's what they want to do. But of course, the sweet spot is being able to do it with more leverage without having to take on more clients and spend more of their time. And of course, that's important because they want to have a life and not just have everything in their life be related to their business. And they want time with loved ones and all the good stuff that we all want as entrepreneurs. The second exercise is the uncovering your impact exercise. And this is something that I actually first did years ago, I think in a coaching program that I was a part of, but it's also one that I recommend to my clients and return to and look at over time, and things again change and evolve. So what this does is it allows you to get clear on the difference that you make for your clients beyond just the surface level stuff. And it helps you understand really how to address your clients' deeper needs. And that could be in your messaging, that could be in your marketing, that could be in your copy. And usually I recommend people do this at least twice a year because you're going to be uncovering deeper levels that you help with as you go on. So here are the questions for uncovering your impact. First, list a few primary results that your clients get from you. What results are you creating for them, and what is it that they want? So then number two is really starting to dig in deeper and have questions around how it affects each part of their life and their business or their health or their relationship or whatever it is that you help them with. So the second question would be, how do the results I create affect my clients' finances? Number three, how do these results affect my client's family or relationships? Number four, how do these results affect my client's health and well-being? Number five, how do these results affect my client's purpose? And number six, how do these results affect my client's future or potential? And these questions are really great no matter what area you help your clients in. And at first glance, you might be like, I'm a health coach, so how does this have anything to do with my clients' finances? And that's exactly why we do this exercise, because if you really dig in, you can find how it relates to that, and you get sort of that deeper understanding of what they really need in more than just the area you would initially think of. So to give you an example for this exercise, let's say you are a business coach and you help your clients with getting clients and their marketing and increasing their income. So those are a few primary results that your clients get. You help them create their marketing plan, you help them understand how they can grow their income, and of course, fill their practice or maybe even leverage and start doing things like group programs. The question around how these results affect my client's finances in this example is kind of obvious because it's a business coach, as we just said. When people do better in their business and have their marketing on points and really understand what's going on in the systems and all the things in their business in the back end, obviously that creates more financial abundance and it helps them to grow the business even further because they can reinvest the money or, of course, take the money and do anything they want with it in their life. So then number three, how do these results affect my client's family or relationships? In the example of the business coach, well, maybe the person is having a lot of struggles in their family or with their spouse, and money is an issue and money is tight and it's causing them to fight, right? So that would be one example of how this could touch relationships. As far as how it affects the health and well-being, well, a simple way to look at this is when you're financially struggling, when you're not knowing where the money is coming from, or you're on the income roller coaster in your business, which is common for some entrepreneurs, obviously that can make you stressed out, and that's not going to be great for your health. And then how do these results affect my client's purpose? This could be individual, but one example would be my client has a big purpose to help as many women as she can grow their business so they can be independent, have their own money, and do more good with it, right? So that's how you can tie that back to a bigger purpose. And then the last question was around how the results affect the client's future or potential. So in this case, obviously, it's going to affect their earning potential, their potential for helping more people, and maybe even for selling their business later. The third exercise is a little less markety, but no less important. And it's what I call the living in the end of your money goal exercise. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to really tap into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. So Neville Goddard is someone that I follow, and he talks about the living in the end means you're in the place already where you have your goal. What would it be like if you were living the life of somebody who'd already reached their goal? So in this example, we're talking about a money goal. So this allows you to get clear on what your desired money goal actually is, first of all, because sometimes people are not even sure about that. So again, the idea is, what would it be like if you already had this goal? Let's say your goal is $250,000 a year in your business. The first question that you can ask is, if you already had received the amount of your financial goal, what would you be, A, saying now, B, thinking now, and C, feeling now? And that gets you into that state, again, of that wish fulfilled as if it's already happened. And then the second question would be, what would you feel sure about as far as what's true for you? So that, again, is individual, but perhaps that's something like, I know how to grow my business and I know how to do it while still having a life. And I am really feeling like I'm helping a lot more people. Number 3 would be, what would you ideally need to believe in order to make your goal inevitable? So there could be lots of answers for this, but you might be talking about how you need to believe that you are worth the money. You are worth charging the prices you charge, and you're worth having this really successful, financially successful, abundant business. Question 4, what are all the ways you could possibly receive that cash money in the door? So this is looking at possible random ways you could get money in the door that might not even be through your business. Or, of course, the ways that are already scheduled, like if you already have some clients on payment plans, getting clear on all of those payments coming in. And number 5, how would it feel if you knew you always had more than enough? And again, this is tapping into the feelings. This is tapping into what it would be like if you already had this. So of course, something like this would be, you feel abundant, you feel secure, you feel safe, you felt really good about what you're doing, and you're able to celebrate it, take time off, get nice things for yourself, the whole shebang. The 4th exercise is the revision exercise. So the thing about humans and our brains and our consciousness is that images and feelings still remain with us that are connected to things that have happened in the past. So this allows you to revise what happened, which is essentially creating a new memory, and then think new thoughts about it, which essentially changes the present. So the first question is, what can you go back to in terms of a scene from your past in your mind, and what can you do to alter it? So a random example might be, you had something that happened in the 7th grade where you were in front of the class and your teacher said something that made you feel really silly, and maybe you felt shame around it, and this is still affecting you today, right? That's just one example. You could have any example from your past that you want. And then the question next is, start imagining it as you remember it happening. How did it happen? So you're looking at, what did I see? What did I hear? And what did I feel? So see what was seen, hear what was said, and feel what you felt. Now, I want to just say, make sure this is not too painful a memory that you're visiting, because if it is, you can then just begin the scene just before the actual upsetting thing happened. So there's no need to relive it or get yourself into a place of emotional pain around this. The next piece is to take what you have experienced and flip it to the opposite. So that means seeing a different image, hearing different words, etc. What would it be if this actually happened the opposite way? And then this will allow you to move into a place of, yep, that's what happened, right? And you can do this by looping the scene over and over in your mind until it starts to feel natural. And you could do this before you're going to bed, when you're sort of in that sleepy meditative state. You could do this as soon as you wake up, when your brain is still kind of in that state. And you can picture this and loop it a few times till you start to feel like the new way is how it happened. And then, of course, if you end up reliving the old memory later, you can always go back and revise it again. And an additional resource around revision, if you're curious to learn more, I would recommend something called The Pruning Shears of Revision. It's a lecture by Neville Goddard. And if you Google free Neville Goddard PF, Pruning Shears of Revision, you can get it to come up and download it. The fifth exercise is the forgiveness exercise. So what this allows you to do is radically accept the past, right? Especially if this might be something that feels easier to you than doing the revision exercise. And you accept the past and know that you are now changing it. So it's like, okay, this thing happened, what now? And your subconscious is constantly trying to protect you. It's trying to protect the little version of you because they don't know that the old beliefs causing the fears that you still feel are not true. So with this, forgiveness is really key because without it, you keep remembering the not so pleasant memories, and it's almost like you reinfect yourself, which of course ends up creating more of what you don't want. So for this forgiveness exercise, this is what you do. So the first step is to forgive them. So them is whoever it is that would feel cathartic for you to forgive. So anyone who has maybe hurt you, anyone who has abused you, a person you want to create a new, different relationship with, etc. And then what you do, sort of step A, is you say, I forgive you for ... and you write out all the things. And then B, I now know that happened because I thought ... So you're basically looking at, this is why it happened. Now I understand that it wasn't my fault, or whatever the case may be. And then the second thing is to forgive yourself. And this is about forgiving yourself without guilt or blame, without shaming yourself, now that you're aware of the fearful thinking that caused what happened. So again, question A, what do you forgive yourself for? And you can journal that out. And then B, I now know that happened because I thought, and whatever that might be. So the market clarity exercise and the uncovering your impact exercise and the living in the end of your money goal exercise, and of course your revision exercise and your forgiveness exercise are all different ways to look at basically what might be blocking you in your business, because these are the types of little sneaky, insidious things that can keep us from hitting our money goals, getting more clients, or multiplying our income. And these days, I am a big believer in affirmations. So I wanted to give you some bonus affirmations that I really love that can help you get into a really good mindset. And just as a side note, when you use affirmations, it's not just about like repeating them over and over and really just mindlessly saying them or mindlessly writing them down. The key to this is actually to feel it in your body, feel it inside as you are saying them. And the way I do it is I write them down in a notebook. So here they are, and you can choose which ones resonate with you. I always feel secure, and I am given everything I need. I'm more than enough. I'm perfect just the way I am. Everyone loves me just the way I am. Once you've met me, you love me, and you can't be without me. I am in control of what happens to me. The walls that have protected me, I don't need anymore. I am always understood and listened to. I'm not afraid to show people the real me. Everything is always working out for me, and I expect it to. My past does not define me or hold any power over me. I create my reality. I'm in control. And then one of my favorite, the very short and succinct, I run this shit. So I hope this helps you the next time you want to sit down and have some journaling time, to really have some structure of the different kind of exercises you can do that, as a big bonus, of course, will help you create more sales and get more clients. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could leave me a review on iTunes or share it with someone else who would find it helpful. To stay connected with me, please visit she'sgotclients.com and sign up for my email list at the bottom of the page. Or feel free to share this episode on your Instagram and tag me at Christine G, and I'll repost you. I would love to share this with as many people as possible. I love you. Until next time, keep shining your light.